I just gave 60-day notice to give you guys an example of walking away from $15,000 a month in security because what we've created. We are about to create the most powerful thing that exists on the planet to help victims of hazing and their families. And we're about to take over the entire state of Utah. Don't look at any of the files. Only consider the states from the above list and give us a random 3-state states, 1 state per row. Alright, so let's see what we are cursed with. Oh shit, we got Kansas, Utah, huh? Yeah, we don't have a choice. We're hitting Kansas, Utah, and Michigan. 3 hours, I took a state over. A random state. We had AI select 3 random states. Show you the thing. We are in half the country at the state level for hazing attorney and then the state name. So we're dominating at the state level.
Another one, and another one, and another one, and another one.
Already won this law firm verifiably, conservatively $100 to $200 million in 6 months. And being as they are the owners of the lead, they're not buying lead. And that's what we're into, is democratizing the ability for the little guy to compete with big guys by actively working hard toward the truth and implementing it in powerful formats.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Leon, the editor and videographer. We're helping Colin make this vision come to life. I literally just seen this man be up 24 hours, took over 2 states. What the hell is that? We're coming for a 3rd state. Like, he literally worked himself and fell out of the chair. I think that's him rolling around with a sock puppet. I think he's a little bit delusional. We literally went through 2 to 3 computer crashes.
This thing crashed, so we don't have any choice but to restart it. It's on ultra mode. Let's go ahead and get that. Shit. Broke again. God damn it. Son of a dude.
So Pubert, tell us what, how did we pick the states we were taking over?
Okay, so we wanted it to be pure.
Like Pubert, pure like Pubert.
So what we did was we did not give AI any context, and what we did was we said just pick 3 states from this list of states, and the list of states were states where we were not ranked, and they were randomized and randomly selected by AI. Leon?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So we got Utah, Kansas, and Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And as of this point now, we've already gotten 2 out of 3 of them in the top 10 in 24 hours. Not 24 hours for each, a total of 24 hours.
This first screen is me introducing myself, much like I'm introducing myself now to the viewer of this email that has received our video, so we can introduce ourselves. I used to own a $1 million plus annually cannabis company, and on purpose. I took what I learned and I went back into just writing software in a frenzy, and I became very focused on my own suite of software the minute that I was introduced to AI. And I myself have a programming and engineering background, so working alongside AI has empowered me a lot of different ways to achieve on my own without a team, using multiple engines, models, a lot of different software, and now mostly software that I've written for myself to achieve my goals myself, and not just for myself, but for our crew that we now utilize to let people know about ourselves and the work that we've done, because what we've done is pretty universal across all industries. We have a heavy focus on legal right now because we've just been on a roll with producing for that. The second slide is one of the first responses that I got back, which is days, if not a week or so after we kind of had initial meetings and kind of went over things. And as you can see, there's an offer to be paid for time and efforts, and they are the lead attorney here asked me if my software would be a good fit to bring him cases for hazing incidents, and my software and my entire suite of software works for all cases in all industries. So absolutely, I said yes. The third slide is a same-day reinforcement where the attorney spoke again and told us again that this was a time-sensitive matter, that we really needed to jump on it. Pretty standard client engagement and precedence. So we definitely went ahead and I agreed that I would get started, because I really wanted the opportunity to show that my system was working and also prove it to myself that my system was working. So I said yes. The fourth slide is, as you can see, on top of my software, I came up with some other ideas just real fast, because I knew it was a premise to see what the lead attorney was comfortable with. And we decided to launch solely initially, even though I wanted to be complete and the attack was complete, but I used Pandemic, my main workhorse that I use for international SEO at a massive scale. And so we decided to put that to use. The next screen is an example of what I sent to show as an example of what I was doing and the research that I had done to feed Pandemic so that we could launch. And this is an example of one of my prompts, and if you look at the scroll bar, you'll see that my data that I feed to create these massive scale pages is based on 72 to sometimes 100, sometimes 300, 400 pages of data that I collect, utilize full capacity. So that way we don't just rely on the language model training, and we provide it with up-to-the-date real-time facts and laws and verifications for legal compliance, so we don't have any issues or fake claims or anything like that. The fact that I had already launched for the gentleman, and we launched all over Texas. We hit all of the state of Texas, but focusing on and around all of central Texas, majority-wise, especially everything in and around Houston, because U of H was the primary case that we hit first. The next slide that you'll see is actually me showing that this was the live launch. We had already pushed it out. We achieved it, I think, next to overnight once I got the main idea. The next slide is very soon after, where the attorney had already gotten a $10 million case out of U of H, and it actually was specifically the case that he mentioned in the original slides that he had wanted. And so within days of launching my attack, he actually named a case, I attacked it, and he achieved that case and has since achieved at least between 8 to 12 other hazing cases, 6 conservatively, but I know for a fact at least 8 to 12. And each one is at a starting range of about $10 million because of the level of the cases that are being taken from there. So the next slide after that shows you that I had done all this work because I needed an opportunity, and the person that's helping me do this video can tell you that we were sleeping on floors and sleeping on garages so that I could finish the software. And even then, I didn't ask for money because I wanted to prove what I could do, and we launched. And so finally, the attorney cut me a check, and then we began in a more long-term arrangement together. And the next slide is him just letting us know that check was good, money's good. And so we went and picked it up, and that was the result of pandemic getting launched. And actually the next group of screens will show you also, how within days of that, if not even that day, the attorney was all over every single major news outlet. Some of them have faded away on Google, but you can see that even still is the results are coming up. It's a little bit of more of a narrow search, but you'll see that these are all several of his news features. And so we've expanded nationwide, and it's been a really interesting niche. And now we are picking up cases in all 50 states. And I don't want to get too much into his business model, but we are successfully achieving that now. Usually when I launch, and that was the point of this entire video, we're showing that not only do we hit long-term goals, but we actually utilize some software that I wrote that analyzes real-time events. So that way you're at the cutting edge of information access, legal changes, legislation updates, statutes, things like that. And it kind of gives you a vision into the future of different subject materials to expand to and cases to expand to. And all of these are systems that work within the ecosystem of software that I created. I just gave 60-day notice to give you guys an example of walking away from $15,000 a month in security, because what we've created and what we've done to get through to where we are now has, we've all seen it. And so this isn't kind of like, I don't really care. Runs, so that's an example of how unofficial this is. Sheila, you want to close it? This is just going to be real. So as real as the dogs are walking around. Like, what we're gonna do is we all came up with an idea to do a, let's call it like a 48 to 72 hour sprint, and we're gonna do some extra things too, but the gap in the that we see is that there's a lot of gatekeepers on the real implementation of what everybody has access to, and the majority of the power of the information that you're going to find is diluted, and of course we're biased. We're doing this for a reason, because we've created things, and this is about the next generation of where we have purposely decided that we're going to go. And purpose means turning down the job security of $200,000 a year, cash, straight up, because what we're doing is going to be more important. And it's not one of those get rich bullshits. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you something that nobody else can show you, which is we're going to do a couple of things, and one of those is going to be to show you the secret sauce and it's not even secret sauce, it's just different sauce, and it's our sauce that really we're going to rank. And if you look at us around, we're here with dogs, and we're here with the people that we enjoy being around for a reason. And we're taking our time to do this because we're people that we've been told that there are 100 reasons why we shouldn't be able to do, or we can't do what we are doing. And there's and you deal with people that give you this carrot on a stick of an opportunity, but we're going to show you, like, in real time how you can control and the power and influence you really do have without millions of dollars, because there's no excuse to not utilize tools and energy and whatever drives you or gets you up every day. And we're going to do a couple of miracles. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to work to rank a random and honest, and we talked about different ways that we can show it. And either way, we have a portfolio of where I've single-handedly taken over half the states in the United States by myself, against probably a lot of even you, because if you are reading this, it's either because someone that cared about knowing what the real shit is and how to really use it, the why, which is the most important part of anything, is the why. Like, we're going to show you how to do it. And you can take it and you can learn from the learning process that I myself am going to share with you, which is my own thought process. And if you have different thought processes, that's good, and everybody should. But I'm going to show you the depth, and then like what we do to add like the extra layers of impossible that make us able to rank, which we're going to show you, and take over entire states organically on Google, and what we believe to be number one, absolutely less than 24 to 48 hours at the state level. And again, some of you are getting this video because you probably said something stupid to me like, we're at the top of the food chain, why would I need you? And so you don't have to care about watching this, but this is just our moment of, every moment of this is just going to be organic and honest, and you don't need me, but I don't need to dilute what we're doing, which is very important. And we're going to show you that with all your millions of dollars and all of your influence and all of your tricks and all of your things like that, that a couple of people with real knowledge are going to, with talent and with knowledge, influence your market space and take your position by winning your position, and we decide who wins at the end of the day. And this is kind of what we're going to do. So like Leon and Sheila are going to kind of also talk about kind of how we got here, because there's a lot of people that I think need to know what it's like and have, even when there's not something to shoot at, something to shoot at and have a target to hit. And you got to, and don't wait around for a mentor, and don't wait around. You can take it and you can win it. And it's a kind of a simple thing. You know, like we've given up a multi-million-dollar, which isn't tens of millions of dollars, but over the course of 4 to 5 years, we definitely made a couple to a few $1,000,000. We've been on ABC News with our, you know, with a company that we took everything and invested in the technology that we're going to share with you today and show you the entire process end to end. And these people are important because they risked things so that you can have access to this technology, which we're absolutely selling, but we're going to teach you like some processes that you can literally cookbook and turn into you making millions of dollars in less than 24 hours. And I know that sounds like bullshit, but the video is going to show actual time-stamped emails. We're going to live record how we do the process, and we're going to time-stamp everything until we prove that we can take over an entire state, or at least alter an entire state, doing multiple states at a time. And then, you know, all life situations and hells that we've been through to build this with help from fucking no one but ourselves, we're going to create also at the same time to give back, because not everything is just about money, but we're going to help you guys, but you guys are going to, the right clients are going to work with us and pay us the money, and they're going to get value, and we're going to do things to actually change the world, because it's possible to do that. And we're just going to show what it is to do that. And you can adapt it to technology, you can adapt it to whatever you do, but we're not here to market tools. We've just swam through all of the spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to try different tools because of the incomplete marketing bullshit videos that are out there. And instead of, and possibly still, you know, we'll monetize this at some point and teach people, obviously commercially, and provide this as a service. But this is really a cookbook that you can follow along and execute yourself, and it's not going to confuse you, and you're not going to have to ask why. So, you know, I'm a software engineer, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an investor. I've worked for 3-letter government agencies doing counterterrorism work, and I'm lucky enough that I'm not for everybody, but a couple of people that I believe in, and apparently they believe in what we're doing, are here. And I wanted to give them also just the chance to speak about the why. And you can skip through all this shit and go directly to the technical thing, but that's about it. Like, there's no ambition to be streamers. This is going out because we're going to show what we really built under the worst of conditions that most people would crumble under, and still succeeded. And now we can influence market and influence our will. And even with that power, we're responsible with it. and we choose who wins. And that's the thing, that if you're watching this, we can choose that you win or lose, and we're going to show you that. And that's kind of what this is, I think, about.
Hi. So, my name is Sheila. I'm pretty sure you've heard Colin talk about me and Leon. So this is the other face being added. Basically, with Colin covered a lot of things, but it's just a glimpse of what we are trying to do, what he has worked so hard to do, and we have actually gone through a lot to get to this point. So just to give you an idea, this is something that, especially right now in this time where AI is pretty much, everybody wants to do AI and they think they know everything, or you get a little glimpse of something and it's just too much information and not, it's just too saturated out there. So with Colin, for the past, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 years, it's been working on, we have been working in the cannabis industry, and also is fortunate enough to have brains and skills too when it comes to, computers. So I have seen him creating a very, 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 very great tool, which we have used it in so many different encounters. It started off whereby he was not sleeping, go like 18 hours a day. Sometimes it would go even like 2 to 3 days straight without sleep, and just working on this while we had our cannabis industry, which we still, cannabis company, sorry, but we still do. But just to show you like some of the great things that we have benefited with this. When it comes to cannabis, I love it in both aspects, whereby you can use it for leisure, and there's the most important thing where it's the medicine part of it. With this great tool, and I don't know if you want me to say it, but I'm going to say it, pandemic. So that is how it started. And with this particular tool, which he spent a lot of time, it took a lot of time. We have used it in ways whereby he kept on working on it, and we were actually able to use it to create a lot of our formulations. And we have helped a lot of people, and it's just a great thing. Cannabis is a great thing, and basically I'm just giving you an idea of how you can use this as a tool. We're able to use it for the formulation. People were able to use it for whatever reason, anxiety. Like we had people who were, cancer patients, though we were still able to use that particular tool in creating so many great things just besides formulation. But then when it came to people finding us, we have shipped our products to every corner of the world. Pretty much all continents, excluding
The North Pole.
Yeah.
South Pole, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a continent.
So, but this is something whereby he has been able to use it. People are able to find us everywhere in the world. We're able to use it in formulations. We're able to use it. You can personalize it and use it in different ways, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what you're trying to do. This is something that is so strong and powerful, and it's him trying to give back, because we lost a lot, we went through a lot, and we understand that people have a lot going on, and not trying to make money off of people, but this, I'm not saying that it's going to be, you can use it as it's going to be out there. You can read on it. It's going to be free. And always, if you want to get more information, like he's going to show you tools and ways, and you can always, figure out a way, sign up, and, you can learn even more things in which you can be able to use it based on what industry you're going for. But yeah, just to give you an idea. Start off with the cannabis industry. And with that, he got time to create this particular tools in which we are going to show you. He's going to show you. And also a great thing, actually, like right now in particular, how he said, walking away from a big paying company where it's secured. This is one of the ways in which we were actually able to, or rather, he was actually able to, help this particular law firm. They actually gave him what they wanted. They were looking for hazing. They wanted to get some hazing clients, or he gave a memo in which he wanted to focus on hazing cases. And within pretty much, I want to say 24 to 48 hours, he was the top when it came to if you were to search for that particular term in finding cases, this particular law firm was the one on Google, no matter what state you were in, Texas, no matter, all over the US. And this is just with him using his tricks and all the stuff that he started, he was able to help the lawyer with that. I might. Yep, and they were able to.
$10 million.
Exactly. Yeah. And just to show how strong the internet is. And that's why with this particular, what we're trying to introduce is whereby you don't have to get on the computer and it's just too much information and you get distracted with stuff. Because with how it started, we had our dog Bentley. Bentley got sick, and none of the doctors could figure out what was going on. And basically, Colin was able to create a paste. And with that paste, we were actually able to help our dog. And this was based just from CBD. And this is just something that he actually did a Google search. It was there. You can always use CBD. It really brought the dog back. They were like, you got to put your dog down. And he did this. And with that, it actually it pushed him even further. And that's how we started the cannabis company, because we're able to see, especially, we were very much aware, but especially with what it did with our dog, that's what pushed us into getting into the cannabis industry. And we still have it. I need to stop saying we had a very, just because right now, we're trying to show you, you can actually be good in separate things. You can focus on, especially if you are somebody who's tech smart and it is just how the world is going, you have to know and some information, or at least learn some things when it comes to tech, so that you can be, especially if you want to have a business, you want to be successful in something, you need to be found, you need to be known. And that's how, we were able to. And so, a couple of key moments. We're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff. Good, bad, medium, however you want to take it, hot, cold. So what I liked a lot, especially with what we have, of course, it's, hearing that, the product that we were dealing with at that particular time, helped a lot of people. I remember some of the moments, because one of the key things with owning a business, and this is why I keep leading back to it, is you want for people to know, no matter what it is that you're trying to put out there. With us, it was more helping people. So at the beginning, the main thing was we had a company, but a lot of people the company is just like clothing. There's so many designers. So the main thing is you want somebody to find you, and you want to tell people why people should find you. And I remember we were at a store, the first initial store, and at that particular time, Colin had been working from home. Of course, making people where we are, and just because with all the tools, learning and everything, very great with SEO. This lady came in and she was crying, and I was like, okay, what just happened? Kept on asking for the owner. I was like, okay, what is going on? What did Colin do? And it was actually, this lady did a research and was able to find us. This was towards the beginning of the business. She was able to find us because her son has a rare form of epilepsy, and they were looking for something or a store that can actually help the son with his current condition, and they've tried multiple places. And keep in mind, this is a lady who is in Texas. There's so many places where they can go and get, there's Colorado, California. At that point, those were the, leading places whereby if you want something, you can get it there. And this lady was able to find us, and this was from Colin's formulation. It was able to help this boy who had this. It was so heartbreaking hearing what she had to go through, and it was very joyful listening to her saying that she was actually able to leave the house because he used this particular tool, which helped him with creating a formulation, which actually helped this lady to actually get a break and be able to just come outside, go and have dinner, go have lunch. This is a person who's always stuck in the house the whole time. So this is just one of the good moments in showing you how, a tool as powerful as this can actually help you out. There's the crazies, like how I said, there's going to be different things. I remember for the most part just with, him working on this particular and tweaking and doing all this stuff. And we were working, we still had the store, of course, with where we are. This is Houston. There's homelessness, all over. And most of the time, Colin will be working at home at night. We had the store during the day. So during the day, he's at the store, he's trying to help out, possibly passing out, just because he's been working for maybe, I don't know how many hours, just a zombie. And is still able to actually do this just to protect, with the puppies, to protect us from, all the craziness that was going there. And we were still able to do this. Like, those are some of the bads, but it's just a funny moment to me. It's not like bad, but I'm just showing you like the amount of dedication and just perseverance. If you are somebody who wants to do something with whatever you're doing, like this is something that we have worked so hard on, and just trying to make you see, like, it's been years in the making. It's not something whereby each person is just trying to learn this and that here and there. We're going to show you a couple of things which can help you, and it's all about your drive. So, yeah. In which has made us keep going and pushing each and every single day. First of all, if you quit, that means there's just nothing more that you see that is beauty in the world. We push ourselves to keep going, and we want to grow. And that is just what the world is. We got to keep growing. We got to keep learning. There's more out there. There's good days, there's bad days. But we're doing it for, you can be doing it for your babies who can be, your four-legged creatures. You can have your human babies. So you got to keep pushing. I did see that as fuel. For me, every single day that I do wake up, it's a chance, I got a chance to wake up. So that means the world is giving you another day for you to actually prove what you can give to the world. And especially when it comes to, so I'm going to talk in regards to us who are here. And what brings us here is I didn't give up because this is a thing that we sow ahead of time. And us being mostly Colin, because yes, we know some tech, but he saw it at a different angle, in which at this point he has his own AI programming, which he actually made. We saw where this was going to do. We saw, you always got to see your finish line, and that's what we saw. We saw, like, you cannot make it halfway. So how powerful it was going to be, what it was doing. There were days it was tough. There were days when the computer died. There were days when keyboards got, we had to get multiple keyboards. I'm not going to say why, but as somebody who works in computers, you can pretty much understand, You get to deal with challenges, and it's just seeing what your end game is. And to us, this is the end game, and we're just trying to let you guys know that with every single thing that you do, and especially with this, hopefully this will actually help you with whatever you're trying to achieve right now. Like how I said, everybody has to be on the internet. You got to connect with family members. Even your grandparents have, an iPad, phone, WhatsApp, all that stuff. You actually need to have a way in which you can communicate. And this is just a way in which we can actually be able to give you a little glimpse on how you can be able to communicate with who you're trying to target. Because to us, when it came to business, how I see it is, these are people who I want, to be around me. These are like people who, believe in what I'm doing, and they see, okay, let's have that. So hopefully this can help out.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, she worked at a really good Mediterranean restaurant called Aladdin's. And
He became a stalker.
yeah, I became a stalker. And then she tried to buy me these weird shoes, and I'm not sure if they were knockoffs or not. But for some reason, she had a printed catalog of shoes, and she walked up to my table as me being the stalker and said, choose some of these, I'm gonna order some. And I still don't know if they were Fordens, Michael Fordens, or Michael Bjordens, like with a soft B and a J, or what they were, but they were red and they were snazzy and flashy. And I was like, oh shit, dude. And I was with my cousin. My cousin's like, get the shoes, man. Take the shoes. I'm like, I don't know what that's about, and I can't do. So there were
Uchis.
Yeah, and then I just moved to Houston, and I just moved down from the Woodlands, like after leaving the Valley, and she was also one of the first people I met up here. Like that was about 15, 17 years ago now.
What made you give him a shot, Sheila? Have interest in you, interest in Colin?
Well, for the most part, nerd. And just, I don't know, like, not what you expect. Just a wild card. And I don't know if that says a lot about myself or himself or both, but no, for the most part, yeah. Geek.
What made you name your company Pandemic? Was it all the craziness you seen during COVID, or you had an idea before, or you just wanted to come and disrupt the industry, like chaos? What is it?
So there's a couple of enjoyable, convenient reasons for that, but that are very like special to me. And you know, I grew up on the border of Mexico, and I did things, and we'll decide if we get into those, and I'm happy to get into those because those are real and they're over, and I never did anything that hurt good people, so I'm not ashamed of my behavior. In different areas you learn when, you know, and that was and I'll explain pandemic, and that's leading into it, but you realize that other parts of the world have needs, but their context and their frame of acceptable, digestible, culturally searchable. You know, if you don't know what to look for, you know, first you have to like have the ability to look for it. You know, like you need the bullshit pushed aside, and then, you know, like especially in parts of the world where we expanded to, and that, you know, like, and that's the beginning of where pandemic, the word comes from, because we realized when I started launching it that we were taking over and just laughing our way to both success and failure, because what we did was we made ourselves too fucking big. And you know, there was a point where, you know, it spread so fast, like the pandemic, you know, like it was a plague that it infested once it understood knowledge and context. And once you explain to it how humans adapt knowledge, you know, like if you're and I'm stupid, but if you're like in a rainforest somewhere and you don't know what you're looking for, but you know that your skin is something, you know, like, and say that you're lucky enough to have 5 minutes to say, what is this thing? And this is what it looks like. And someone helps you do that. How quickly can you help that person get access to that knowledge? And cannabis doesn't have to be the start of where that was, but that's how we adapted it initially, was by educating the byproducts of peer-to-peer studied research, you know, like National Institutes of Health, University of Oregon, you know, like real actual studies. And actually that case that she was talking about, we're actually in a National Institute of Health study because of that child with epilepsy, because his body had been donated, I think it was like, how many organs? 7, 9 different organs. I mean, it was just wild. Yeah, like maybe even way more than that. And, you know, so like pandemic was like it was injecting fucking bullshit with truth. And truth democratizes the playing field in an age where AI is important, but generally speaking, it's the collective awareness and knowledge of a bunch of fucking idiots. With some of them have sharper hammers that hit nails harder than others, but it's not perfect in its order of thinking. So, you know, in order to combat evil and people hiding information about stupid terms like marijuana and, you know, like specifically forcing people that don't have the context to even accept cannabis as a possible healing element to something, we analyzed what these super powerful models, these large language models, could contribute, and we wrote our software that spoke every language in the world, and it took not everything, but what it did was it had the context of health issues and environmental factors and
That was impressive. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't mean to interject because I actually, because he did one, because I'm from Kenya. So it translated pretty much the whole website to, of course, it had, you know, English, and then based on whichever part of the continent, whichever part of the world you're in, when you log in, and you know you have internet and stuff and you're searching for us in that particular country, it was actually able to, it's so sophisticated. Like, this is just me trying to just make you understand.
Swahili.
Yeah, it
And
was
tribal
in
Swahili variants.
and it was actually like really, really impeccable Spanish. Sorry, not Spanish, Swahili. It was so good. I was like, oh my God. It's like pretty much how with each language, how English has a dictionary, we have for the language, we have it. And like you would pretty much need, like I was so impressed. So, sorry.
And no, that's a good point, because you know, you have to look when you've really been in parts of the world where not only is there just not fucking water and there's not toilet systems, but there's just not doors or walls and things like that. Like, there's a lot of systems built on oppression of information, and this wasn't free to do this shit. Like, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to hit every single language in the world, every single country in the world. And because we were one of the first to educate on the sciences of the subject without a political bias, without a bullshit bias, you know, it opened relevant, contextual, non-cannabis, relational information, you know, and understanding to cannabis and education of it when there's whole powers and countries that oppress information, you know. And not to be a conspiracy theorist, but like I said, pandemic was the plague against bullshit and, you know, like information gating from people, you know. And also, actually, almost just as importantly, I sold drugs my whole life, weed, and there's a show called The Wire, and when they sold these crack in the neighborhood, it was their crack product was called Pandemic. So yeah, I like the
name because it has multiple meanings. Like, when I think about it, it's like you said, it's disrupting. It was something relevant. Recently with COVID, we went through it.
Yeah.
It kind of has.
And people are uncomfortable with that. People have been like, do you think that name is going to scare people off? Like, why? If we all fucking lived through it, should I not be able to fucking talk about it, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then two is I don't know if it's the devil sometimes the word, but
Yeah.
It is.
It kind of relates to the tech space, like a virus.
Yeah.
Think of it as a virus, or just like you said.
It's unstoppable.
Yeah. How did y'all meet? Just gonna go with the backstory.
Yeah,
part.
yeah, that's cool.
Work. Shut up at my work.
Jay-Z has a line in a song, and he says, "Whenever I get nervous, I start shooting." And he goes, "Bow, catch a body, head to Houston." You know, so like, I feel like that. I feel like that to me, in general, that a weakness is that I don't have time for bullshit because I prove what I do and I help people, and you know, but then you know, like, I do what I say I'm gonna do, and you know, like, my whole life, or at least plenty of opportunities, and I'm not a hater, but when somebody should have been talking to me in the room, seeing them talk to just clowns, you know, that didn't belong in the room, you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of what we're doing here is, and, you know, is just showing that, because what we're going to show you, and we're going to get, again, if you're the person watching this and you skip through this shit, you should at least come back later if you get bored of listening to, and I love Matan Evan, so you should check his stuff out, if depending on where you're seeing this. But if you just want something that you can identify with, and again, once you see what we do and you understand the capability of still being humble, you know what I mean? Like, so, where was I going with that? What was the question?
Strength.
Oh, okay. So I think that, like, a weakness of mine is I don't value a waste of time and opportunity. You know, like, there's the CEO of 300 Records, Leor Cohen. He was asked in an interview, for example, how is it that someone with so much power and, you know, and influence and the people that you deal with walks around without security confidently? And he's like, because I don't take away people's opportunity to make a choice, you know, like, and how to go and things like that. And so I feel like I live that way myself. And I'm just, again, this is an elongated way of saying, like, so there's a whole lot of me that just doesn't give a fuck, because I know that I have control and we all have control, and what we're about to show you with our software is about the most ultimate level of needing to be responsible with information and power that you're going to see, because I know that for a fact. And for me, I don't really deal well with people, and we could go into that later and as deep as anybody wants, but I've seen the worst of shit, and a lot of people think they have, and they probably have also, but, you know, like, so my point with that is that Sheila's always been a friend first, and, like, and then genuine, and, you know, like, from my side, I know for a fact that no matter what, I believe that I can create opportunities, and I really show it for people around. And so, you know, like, that's my strength. My strength is not small talk or bullshit or doing shit that's not meaningful, like, with my time, you know. And, you know, like, she really, like, is a smart enough person to handle her own shit and to do her own thing, definitely without me. But, like, when we've understood how to utilize strengths, and you can put some kind of shit aside, and it's mostly her that's finding some kind of way to put some fucking shit aside from some fucked up shit in my head, or that I do, then, you know, like, you can really, and it's not with everybody, and you can't go looking for it, and you can't force it, and you have to be singularly by yourself a pillar. Like, Stonehenge has been here since the beginning of time with pillars that people can't fucking understand how they got there. And there's not a story that is we're worth valuable enough to be told the truth behind it and why it's there, you know? Like, but like, that's kind of where, to me, like, I don't see her as somebody that's a, you know, like, and I don't think that that was necessarily suggested, but like, no one here around me I look at as a fill-in or a part in my show. I just feel like if you are not in your own game shooting 3 points, and if you're lucky enough to find someone else that's willing to like try some 3 points, and you know, like, I just throw punches first real fucking quick too, and I'm self-destructive because I don't give a fuck, and but not in a bad way. I just know what bullshit and wasting time is because I'm able to control the byproduct of my time, you know what I mean? So like, that can work for you, that can work against you, and kind of like that's like her thing.
Yep. And just to add a thing, strength and weakness, like challenging, like always keep you on your toes. Like you need, you know, sometimes you need that reminder, like, hey, like there's more to this, like let's do it like that, like let's keep improving, because that's just not how things work. Weakness for me, whereby it might not be, depending on how people take it, is not stopping. Like not getting enough rest. That's just the thing. So it's a great thing, but also, you know, and that's why, like, you'll get to see with, he'll show you how it's like, it's always going, it's always just improving every single.
We're giving you a real day in the life of what 48 hours can do for you. Yeah. And it's psycho.
Yep. 72 hours and 24 hours.
Yeah. And that's everybody in this room.
Yep.
But, yeah. So I think she protects me from me a lot, is really the point at the end of the day. Because, like, I'm real quick to burn bridges. Not in a bad way, but I'm just not with a carrot and the stick bullshit, because I can take control and do it myself. But at the same time, like, that can be, like, there's a certain, sometimes you got to realize there's not a fight that needs to be had, and that you have quality people around you that are aligned with the same thing. But a lot of times what you see is that there's a lot of fucking bullshit. And if you take control, you don't have to wait, you know? You don't have to accept just what's thrown in fucking front of you just because that's what someone tells you that you're gonna get, and that's how you're gonna get it, and this is when you're gonna get it. When you have the power to take it and you just win it from hard work the right way, you have less of a respect for bullshit, I guess.
What's the story behind the hand-drawn logo?
The oil well logo?
Oh, no, that's your thing.
No, you can say it.
No, no, I am not going to ruin that.
So, like, our company went before Oil Well Cannabis was Oil Well Cannabis. It was called Weed Dogs because of Bentley, and it actually was Oil Well CBD first. But you know, like, we really worked hard, and you know, there were a lot of companies, actually, like Mile High Labs and certain great companies, but we were early in the game, and you know, even, you know, we helped a lot of other companies with their branding when other capable companies just wouldn't, you know, and so a barrier initially, which I like putting barriers in front of myself because I'm stupid, because I like fighting, but a real barrier initially was that it said weed in it and it was a cannabis product, and stores were like, are you insane? Like, I can't put this on my shelf.
Especially the banks.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, we had to explain that we were like a plant company or something. And they're like, yeah, okay. And banking is a nightmare. So, you know, you just get inspiration from different places. But the funny thing is right now, if you type in the word oil well, period, like we are, by definition, we take up 7 out of 10 spaces before actually definitions of oil well, oil companies and things like that. And so I don't know what it was, but I had a dream of exactly the oil well logo the way it was supposed to be. And I woke up and I drew it, and I still have a copy of the drawing. And I don't know why. Like, I felt like it was, and we got a lot of good feedback on it, but it was our thing because, you know, like an oil well's the plug. And if you've been the plug, you know, or you do plug behavior, then, you know, that means something. And then doing oil well, like, you know, oil for wellness, things like that. But yeah, I woke up and I just couldn't, I saw it for enough time to where I grabbed my phone and I drew it and I showed it to her, and I was like, there's no way someone hasn't thought about naming their company Oil Well Cannabis or Oil Well CBD or all of them. And so I went on GoDaddy. I had the hand-drawn logo and sure enough, the domains were available, so that became the safe company name. And the logo became exactly like how it was hand-drawn. I mean, it literally, I saw it in a dream. Like, and even right now, I dream in code, which is really annoying because I look at code all damn day long, but I really do. So that's just, yeah, that's that. But that started, I mean, it's not Walmart or Saks Fifth Avenue, but if you account the work and the income and the opportunities and the actual money that we touched and moved, I mean, it was a multi-million-dollar company that, again, like, it's our control. We didn't falsely allow the, you know, people to make moves that weren't right for us, and the way that things were going, you know, like, we made it right for us. So that's kind of where it ended up, and it ended up really well and being a very important brand, I think, to the world. $200,000 a year is very hard to walk away from. It's very hard to achieve. We're not in an economy of that. And it's hard to be, so, you have to be authentically so good at something that you can command it for yourself. And without putting a gun to somebody's head, they give it to you because you're bringing that value. So you can't let bullshit dilute that from you, you know? And there's a lot of people that may not have the similar experiences, and it's not naivety, it's just, I don't wish people to have a whole lot of the background that I have, but I don't regret it because I can see that shit like 10 steps ahead now of how people act and why they act that way, because it's fucking predictable. It's an algorithm, human, you know? And so, yeah, I just, I guess I'll let Sheila like kind of go into it from there.
Yeah, and like, especially like with this, just to add to that, like walking away from this particular deal, like this is something that it's not an easy thing to do. It is definitely not an easy thing to do, but.
And people make way more money than that, but after everything we all went through, that's fucking wild. So sorry, I just wanted to interject that.
No problem. And the thing is, like, with what he's been able to do within this short duration of time, just with this particular farm for right now, the low farm that he's working with right now. And
first customer, first license, $200,000 a year.
Yep. And he's been able to show them, and actually that's one of the great things, especially when it comes to, technology. Right now there is a print out there, so it actually outlines and shows, hey, this is what you gave me for the target, this is how long it took me for me to achieve the target. And there's actually stats and factual data, which you'll be so impressed by just seeing some of the stuff. And also, the good thing is, made this person even millions and millions of, not Colin, but the person that gave him the targets, the law firm, was able to actually make him recoup that money in
1 day.
Yep. So it's a great tool.
Before they cut me a fucking check, I landed him a $10 million deal. Like, I was, you were there, and I won this guy before he cut me a single check, a $10 million case. And then I demanded a check. I didn't force him. I didn't, but I demanded a check right fucking then, right fucking there, immediately. And it wasn't a shit check. But I'm going to be grateful for the opportunity and still thank you for that. Like, if you happen to see this. But it was shit. And that's not my fucking problem. Like, that, so anyway, it began the thing, but these people of multiple layers, whose job, and again I say job because you gotta fucking call someone boss. Your job was to uneducatedly, and I don't have a problem with like objective questioning and discourse, especially towards a mutual goal, but when you're just fucking technically completely wrong, and again, it's just, anybody can be a CEO for $130 in Texas. So all that CEO shit is pretty fucking meaningless, to be honest. So again, if you got to call somebody boss, then there's nothing wrong with that. But like, don't make your job to just be anti-progress dangerously. And so, there were just times where, it just is what it is. But, like sometimes you have to tell people in the room, you don't fucking belong here, Like, you're not qualified to talk to me. And that doesn't mean go around being an asshole. It means that you have to set limits of reality, like thumbtacks in reality. I talk about that just in my life, like, because there's a lot of fucked up shit. So I gotta like set thumbtacks in reality to know that I'm not fucking insane. So like, like especially when you know what you are, numbers don't lie, like, and you don't have to listen just because a motherfucker has words, like, and there gets to be a point, going back to where she's very good at things, where I get real bad at using fucking words, and then we just can go and either, but not in a bad way. It becomes no value in the goal nor the lack of the objective experience in the delivery of the payload. And so, like, I don't know, I'm real stupid. And so let's just say...
No, you're not. And I think with what it was leading to, sorry to interrupt.
No, go.
Because especially with how we were able to get into, an agreement and get an actual contract with this company, like how he initially said, for the first time they were able to give out a check. It was low, and he did not. He still completed his work, and that's one great thing. Like once he accepts something, regardless of what it is, he's going to show you, this is what I came and actually showed you at that point in time. I said, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I will actually do. It's not, oh, I'm missing $1, so I'm going to give you half. No, it's always, and that's a great thing. And just with the efficiency in which he was able to provide with what they said, even though it was this little, and this is how, you know, things like this can actually help, and you can be able to see, you know, where you want to push yourself, and just how he said, not everybody needs to be talking. So just because somebody has, you know, you are the one with the capabilities, and you're the one who knows how to be able to handle this stuff that they do not understand. And like I said, there is data which actually shows. So that's the beauty about it. We were able to, or I had to negotiate this deal, just like talent. It's just,
From 5,000 a month to 15,000 a month.
yep.
Like that's a big fucking jump. That's a 300% jump. And there was a whole lot of fuck off during the process of that. And we couldn't really afford fuck off at the time. But it had to. And the funny one was me waking her up at 12:01 a.m. because I had this harvested hate for bullshit. And this guy told us that he was going to have the contract back by midnight and shit. But that's how I do business. Because when you understand life and death, and that law doesn't really sometimes affect reality in certain situations, you say 12 o'clock and I say 12 o'clock, I had my shit done and the target dead by 11:25. If you show up at 12:01, then it's now we're gonna have truth. And I shut the fucking deal down because the guy was 1 minute late. I mean, and that's just one of the times.
Yeah.
But shout out to the opportunity. But yeah, we're just looking for new opportunities. There was a lot that was taken away, like the ability to deal with other firms for a year, and I understand that because I was also given the chance to battle test all my software, and I kept focused, so that ended up being a good thing. But this is a positive experience now, to where we're going to get to meet a lot of people and exchange ideas, and there hasn't ever been like a wrong way. It's just sometimes doesn't come as fast as you're ready to do the fight.
Yep.
Why am I here, and why do I think I'm here? Well, I'm here because you needed help to get your ideas out.
Okay, that's fair.
And then I feel like I'm the perfect person to help you capture it and, you know, get it out there in the right way. Not try to manipulate it or rush it, or was it like tell the wrong side of the story, actually like give you the time to get your point across and not have it rushed and bring it to life. And then what was the second part of the question? Why
do you think you're here?
I feel like it's a divine appointment. Like I met you through another individual that the situation kind of didn't work out and go left, but you and then a couple other people, I was like, okay, I seen why I linked up with that person. It might have not made sense at the time when you're going through everything, but then like months down the lines or a year down the line, you're like, okay, these steps had to happen for me to meet this person. So the mission is to show what we can do within 48 hours. We're going to do a takeover, a random state, and then have the rankings go from not even being ranked to the top 3 within 48 hours, 24 hours or less. Yeah, do a dementia app. So like I also had my own personal dementia story. Like my grandmother, I was pretty much her caretaker from 2020 to I think 2024, just helping like be her caretaker, just day to day, helping her, you know, fixing her something to eat, making sure she took her medicine on time, watching her until one of my other relatives can get free to just come over there and relieve me or kind of help her out with day to day stuff. So I kind of already know maybe, you know, some of the stuff you might be going through or you might face in the future. So when you told me today about your story with your dad, how you want to use use an app to help, you know, keep his mind sharp and just to help him out in life, I was like, oh yeah, we kind of need that. Like it's so much that, for my personal story, is like if they don't see you every day, they're gonna kind of forget. So if it's an app or somebody in person, or you know, family members might not can make it, they might stay in another state. So the app will kind of really help people to, you know, remember their loved ones and help them do day-to-day functions and be able to do stuff that they need to do. So when I first seen Pandemic, I was like, okay, kind of was, he had hit me up to bring his dog Scotty a IV drip. He had got sick from, I guess, licking some water or something. So I was like, okay, I'll go over there and bring it to him. I was like, I really wasn't concerned about the money. I was like, I love animals. I had pets before, so it's like you couldn't physically leave. I think because it was like an hour away and then you had to do some work or something that you had to complete. So I was like, okay, I'll go over there and bring it to him. And then I wound up just staying the night, you know, hanging out. And he was like, hey, you want to see this thing I got, Pandemic? And I was like, okay. I was like, what is it, a movie, a video game, a movie script you working on? He's like, oh, no, it's like software. So I'm like, okay, cool. I kind of started off as a computer science major, but then later changed it to like radio, television, and film. So I kind of just knew like basic stuff or just some terminology when it came to like software and AI. So I was like, okay, let's see what it is. And he was like, okay. You started showing me like what it is and what it can do and rankings and stuff. I'm like, okay, I know about SEO. Like, okay. You was showing it to me and I was like, man, this is amazing. It's like $1 billion idea. How can we do more of this? And then like I kind of, you know, seen the vision. Just was like, this is probably the real reason I'm over here, not just like, what are the odds I met you maybe like a few weeks ago and then your dog got sick and then I came over there to, you know, bring an IV, not even knowing what I was going to discover or learn. It was like, I probably wasn't even, I think we was talking about.
Describe the garage we were staying in.
Oh yeah, the garage. It was literally a garage or like an efficiency. It just was pretty much like an open area. They had a little baby bed or like a child bed that I wound up sleeping in because I was so tired. I think we were out of town and just had got back in town maybe a day or two, maybe Atlanta or North Carolina or somewhere with doing some work with Trey Songz, like capturing some videos and photo content for him. So I was like, man, I'm kind of tired, so I probably just got to sleep the night. And then it wound up being till like the next morning you was showing me some stuff and just like, okay, cool. It's getting more in depth to it, but the room was pretty much small as hell. It probably was like the size of this room, maybe from
half of this
fireplace. Yeah, maybe like half to 75% of this room. Like you said, they had a baby bed, they had a couch. You had these two knuckleheads running around trying to play.
2 cats.
I didn't even know you had 2 cats until he just came like running out of underneath something. I was like, what the hell was that? Oh yeah, I got 2 cats by the way. Like, okay, that's cool.
And actually, it wasn't even the garage; it was the garage shed.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, it was like a garage shed
With a bathroom.
Garage of a garage with a bathroom.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like at least probably like 30, 40 minutes from the middle of Houston, like civilization. So
Was it ideal working conditions inside? Remember, you could barely even walk around.
It wasn't ideal. It was okay. Like I made it work because I had a laptop. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I was editing a recap.
Yeah,
or
you were
something.
definitely a positive energy.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, I did edit this stuff in my car, so we got AC, we good. Make the best out of it. We just gotta get it done and focus. And then like, I was editing some photos, I think, and let it render, export them, and you was just showing me like more of your software and stuff. So I'm like, we already know what the situation is. There's no need to complain and make it worse. Like, clearly this wasn't your first choice. Like, yeah, give me the Airbnb with the random goat walking around. It was like a little baby
The goat.
just randomly pop up. Like you said, you had your pets. I felt like it was some other people like in the main room that
Yeah.
was staying there too. That was random. I was like, I don't know who these people are.
The main house.
Yeah, the main
The actual house.
the penthouse suite. I think that was it. As far as the living accommodations, and then I think I was maybe over there at least 2 days, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Because like you said, y'all were like going from Airbnb to Airbnb. I seen you like literally in real time, like you was talking about the banks. Like it's like, oh, my account isn't working. Let me call Wells Fargo. Hour or two later, oh yeah, we just froze your account. We're gonna mail you a check. Like you said, the check never came. I think went there like after y'all left just to see if a check did come. I think it was a debit card or something.
Yeah,
something y'all
yeah,
needed that did
yeah,
come, but
yeah,
it
the-
wasn't the
yeah,
stuff
the
y'all
check.
was looking for.
The check and the
Yeah, it was a check. That's what it was.
yeah, because they're mailing it back to the fucking shed.
Mm-hmm. It was that. What else we did?
That was the money I had to beg people for.
Yeah.
And people were kind enough to actually do it, and Wells Fargo stole it from us.
Yeah. It's like I was saying, like you finish one problem and think you got a solution, and then there's another problem. Like you can't get a break. Like, okay, I did this, now I got to figure this out.
And I think that's why we're talking, just including this,
Yeah.
and not so much about the even tech right now, but people can't have a fucking excuse, right?
Yeah,
We
there's
were
no
talking
excuse.
about that.
It's like I could have just left. I was tired as hell. Like I did what I could. I was like, I'm gonna just get the pictures to y'all tonight, and then I'll work on the recap video tomorrow. At least got all the pictures to them. Like labeled the footage, went through it, kind of sorted it out. We were probably like up another hour or two, just looking at the software until both of us dozed off. Prior to that, we was walking around. Scotty, he had to use the bathroom. He finally, I think, peed because he
Yeah, a
was so
little bit,
dehydrated
yeah.
a little bit. So we like, okay, the progress getting better. I was like, man, these vets might not know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I had just witnessed one of my uncles, his dog had, I think, a stroke or something where he kind of couldn't move his body, and he like rehabilitated them to help because they was trying to get him to do the same thing, just put him down, you know. He might not recover all the way or whatever. He was like, nah, if you're going to pass away, you're going to pass away. At least let me try something before it happens. So I'm like, okay, his dog got better. So if he's going to pass, you know, you don't want to see a dog go through pain, but at least give him like a day or two.
Fighting
chance. Yeah, a chance. So that was kind of dramatic. On top of what y'all were going through already with just the Airbnb situation, getting the money and losing it due to them thinking y'all trying to scam or do some illegal stuff just because it's so random, so many random people sending y'all money.
Yeah.
Literally, I think y'all didn't have enough money to extend that Airbnb, or either somebody had booked it already before you can extend it. So y'all had to go to another location. And then I had to leave to go out of town, I think, to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Or the Carolinas for
I think it
another
was
Trey
Atlanta.
Songz show. So I was like, I couldn't, because initially I was going to just help you move all the stuff to it yourself, but it was like way in,
We had nothing.
you had just y'all negotiated a deal to get that spot. It was like way in Galveston.
Yeah, in Kima.
Yeah, in Kima. So it's like, okay, there's no way I can go all the way there. And
And
I
then
think I
that
had
house
to,
burnt down.
Yeah, I had to get either get another IV or go there and then leave to go back in town. But it was like the timing of it, I would have been late
The whole
because it was like during
situation
rush
was
hour.
never going to be fucking okay.
So I was like, man, I'm gonna just show you how to load up the car. Like, I didn't ran from enough hurricanes. Just how you load it up. He's like, yeah, just fold the seats. He's like, I don't think my seats fold. And I'm like, yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Just folded, found the button. He's like, oh shit, I didn't even know it folded down. Pretty much packed everything in there that we could. It was probably packed up high to the window. I think we put some other stuff.
We pulled that shit
Sheila's
off in
car.
one trip.
Cause I think you went to get the IV. Cause we couldn't make it.
Yeah,
in
because
time.
I went to go get the first check or pay the first check to the new place in Galveston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was. You had to get all the stuff in there before the lady had to clean up, or whoever had to clean up, and somebody had to come check in. So we had to load the vehicle. I feel like I went and got some breakfast or something from Whataburger prior to that. And then we might find out we had to leave. And then, like you said, you went to, what was it, Kima to take care of that. She went to get the IV, and then I went to either Carolinas or Atlanta,
I
somewhere.
think you went to Atlanta.
Less than probably 24, 48 hours. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like a movie.
Since you're back, have you gone to see the advancement of pandemic and it being a virus and what it's capable of doing?
Colin showed me some stuff today. Just like the progress, because I remember before it was like maybe some part of Texas. Maybe like 3 different states, but now he's like ranked up to top 3 in what? Half the
country.
U.S., half the country. So that's a big increase. And then just talking about like where we can expand it. Of course, there's like law firms, personal chefs, just all kind of businesses.
Robotics.
Everybody needs promotion, and then exposure, help getting themselves out there. It's more so like finding the right people that need help getting themselves out there and working with them, or even if it's just finding the right people, working with them, and kind of like being that I don't want to say not a gatekeeper, but maybe like a filtration. Like, just because you have the money, like if it doesn't make sense, like you're not the right person, we don't want to work with you. We're not going to just take your money if you're an asshole.
We've turned down a lot of money.
Yeah, all money ain't good money.
Yeah.
But
we needed that money a whole lot of times, and turned that shit down.
Yeah. But does that answer your question, or you want me to go more in depth to it? Or
No, that answers it. And
Okay.
so that means that, what are we showing today? Does that mean that the mission is to show pandemic being a virus? How big of a virus it is?
Yeah, we're gonna just document. It needs to do what
The truth.
Yeah, the truth.
It either does we either do what we do, or we don't fucking do what we do.
Yeah.
And the way that we're gonna do it is so fucking impossible.
Yeah.
That you can't tell someone about it, right?
It's like we taking you on the journey to witness it in real time. Like, we're gonna show how it's like you said, be 100% transparent with it. Show you like the start to the end process. Like, we're gonna try to do it in 12 hours or less, but we're giving ourselves at least 24 to 48 hours to do it. Figure it out. And then eventually we'll have courses for you, like to empower your employees or yourself if you want to become a person that just can do this service for other people rather than gatekeep,
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. We're going to, I believe you said, measure on 2 different demographics or targets, such as
2 or 3,
fraternities and sororities, and I forgot the other one, college phrases.
Yeah.
So we're going to use those and like.
And at the state level for hazing in general.
Yeah, and we're going to like use his program to just like pick a random state, like one we're not already in. So it's like.
Yeah, we made a list of
organic
states that we don't exist in. Complete states.
Yep. It's like a challenge. Either we're going to win or we're going to lose.
We're going to win.
Yep. Anything else? What you want to talk about? More questions?
I think we're good. I think that the point of this should be not pity, but there's only so much shit can hurt before you die, and then none of that shit that hurt really fucking matters at the end of that. But sometimes you get to enjoy shit too, and I'm learning that. But yeah, we invested all of our money to where we got evicted from our store. She got evicted from where she was living. I got evicted from where I was living, and that's going to kind of lead into, we're grateful for you being who you are and what we're about to do together. But like we were living in a garage literally with our 2 dogs, and you can see this is a big ass dog, and then this other one's behind, and then 2 cats, and all there was you were there. That was the size of a lot of people's like kitchen, and then I had a bathroom attached to it, but we got by, and we figured that, but we're making such little money that at least this way we found a way that if we could just survive day to day, that was the thing. And that's where a lot of you coming into was great. And like we could go into a lot of things that have happened, and I'll just say, like, if I had to just say 5 years, like there can be a whole lot that I can go into, and I think that the question is important, but we definitely risked more than everything.
Yeah.
And that can fuck people up, and it's like I said, we were talking about it the other night, like to me, and I'm happy to go into especially parts of the question where like we were so poor that we couldn't even afford the gas to get to the fucking like thing to go get the dog's thing, or I don't know, like I was giving our dog Scotty, who was dying, like IVs, and you drove like at least an hour out of the way, and I can't wait for you to hopefully expand on some of those situations, but
Thanks, Leo.
but the first, so we got this bitch ass first check, and then my first real check kind of came, and we had just gotten approved for a couple of apartments, and
Our puppy got sick,
yeah, our puppy got sick.
and
It was hopeless.
yeah, spent a lot of money.
Every fucking thing.
Yeah.
I went from being negative, to give you an idea, while things were colliding, my bank account's new definition of zero was negative $750 every day. And shout out Chase Bank. That's a dope bank. And, but they let me overdraft every day $750. And we still bank with them, and now it's not like that by any stretch of the fucking imagination. But, I got to hold the check. We deposited it on a Friday. I stayed awake all fucking night on Friday. And, Saturday at 6 in the morning, the check cleared. And that's called leptospirosis. And we thought that we were doing a good thing by at least giving our dogs, it was a shitty little garage, but it had a very large backyard, and at the time, after so much, it was peaceful, but the puppy got into, and it's probably my fault, some water that I didn't know anything about, and
It's not your fault. Nobody knew this is there. And for all the people with puppies out there, please make sure you get your dog vaccinated on that, because It's not a good way for you to learn.
Shout out Marina Bay Veterinary. I believe that's the name of it, and we'll edit it. But Marina Bay Veterinary, at the end, I was
And
so
chemo.
pilled up and fucked up, and I was less than broke, and I don't know how we even ended up there because I was so fucked up, and his eyes were exploding with blood, and he was coughing blood up. And we kept thinking that maybe we had won the fight a lot of times, but someone there, like, they just said they paid for it. And whoever that is, you know, I was even thinking that today. I still have not done it. So I'm giving my word that within the next 2 months, I'm going to at least triple that donation that someone gave to me, so someone else, at least at the end of hell, can bury their loved one or have their loved one back, and he's right there. But you helped us out a lot during that period of time, but we lost more than everything. And you know, yeah, again, like, we finally got a check, and you know, even my family said for us to go fuck ourselves over money and that's because before, for stupid or fucking reasons, they lied and were like, we'll lend you money, and I don't take money and I don't borrow money. All this shit is ours, our work and our money. But I finally got that check in hand, and it was everything that we had, including money for food and our place to stay, and it was all gone. And I'll fucking do it 500 more times, but in probably 36 to 48 hours, just to try. And if anybody gets anything from anything, you don't have to fucking like me, but just try. So, yeah. It also, you know, and shout out to the situation with a firm I'm in now. Like, I don't want anybody to think that there's hate. It just, we're moving into freedom now for uncharted territory that we will control as we chart it.
Yeah.
But like, there were a lot of people that could have helped, needless to say, that did only what the fuck they were supposed to do. And I understand that that's what things are supposed to be for, but also they kept us alive and gave us a fighting chance. And if anything, we were able to take swings and keep swinging. And now shit is, it's something different, and you have to be responsible about it when you have true power and you're about to do what we're about to show people. And the point of this is not to just bullshit all night, but just know that someone's not going to tell you that the rules are the fucking rules. Like, so, I don't know. It was more friends than that donated, like, and I'm glad you brought that up.
All the customers,
Yeah,
even though you did a lot and the bank stopped you guys from...
Wells Fargo stole our fucking money. Fuck Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, fuck you. Fuck you, Wells Fargo. Fuck you, Wells Fargo. Fuck you, Wells Fargo. Because I begged for money. I begged. I sent an email to every single one of our customers. And, you know, you and I were talking about social media and things like that earlier, and how I knew that the collapse of things was when I integrated, which was always something that was me, that had to become a brand, and fuck people's like forcing me to become a brand, which affected that business. But that told me also that I was better and needed to move on to innovation at the level that I needed to be at. But Jerry, first of all, didn't have a fucking choice, actually, by accident. So Jerry, I had money and Scotty was dying, but we found people that would slowly give us supplies, and you were one of those people that fucking drove IV fluid so I could worked 24 fucking hours a day for days straight, and you saw it, and I think you got something to say about that, and you know, but that shit was all gone, and so I had cash, and these people were just leaving our dog on the fucking floor and shit, and they're about to kick us fucking out, and so we're fighting with them, arguing, talking shit about them kicking us out, and finally we got them to admit that they would like give us a home kit. I think that was the first night or something, and I could be wrong about that, but like it was around something like that, because they were just gonna let him die on the fucking floor. And so I called Jerry, and shout out Jerry, because I had to make 2 different charges, and so I sent him the cash and he put it on his card, but the small charge hit first, which I thought the big charge was going to hit, and I was trying to pull a janky fucking move, and Jerry's card actually got hit, and then I got maxed for all the money, which hit Jerry's account, and Jerry was nothing but a fucking saint about it, and even helped us through moves and things like that, and has been a family member of mine since we were doing things on the border of Mexico. So shout the fuck out, Jerry. And then Sydney, you know, I owe her a whole lot, and however it got there, I wasn't comfortable enough to ask. So Sheila, again, you know, like protected us by humbling herself and just telling someone that we needed the help finally, because I just think that there's only so much fucking help you can beg for, and then people don't even pay that shit back. And Sydney and Jerry can both say, and it was multiples of $5,000-$6,000 that between them. But you know, so Sydney through Sheila was silently like sending us money to live on here and there, and I knew that we were getting it. I just was too ashamed to ask. But when it finally was, we were just out of that, and I was like, this is gonna destroy Oil Well, because it's gonna make us look fucking stupid. But to save that dog, I sent an email to every single one of our customers, literally begging them, telling them I was out of money, and if they would just make a purchase, I would double their order, but begging them for money, just begging. And a lot of people came through and shout the fucking fuck out to those people that did. Some of them didn't even want the order.
Oh.
Like, shout out Joey fucking Holland too, because I begged him, and I hadn't even talked to him from years, and he's from the border of Mexico, and he just fucking came through. And yeah, as much as I don't have like a huge outlook on humanity, there was a lot of fucking humanity that I need to humble myself and be grateful for, that didn't know us, and some did, and you know, they have their own lives that they have to worry about, but it wasn't gonna save him. But the total treatment to still where he died was, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it totaled to about $9,000, like in total.
It was over 10.
Yeah,
It was over 10
and
for sure.
but I don't
Just
stop the
because of
fight, and
treatment.
Sheila didn't stop the fucking fight,
I know.
and but we did, you know, we got there, and then we had nothing again.
Multiple times.
Yeah.